So today I saw two movies that were very different in tone and content and literally everything, except that they were both about love and families. Pretty universal themes. The first one was, and they both premiered at Sundance. First one was Christina Choe's Nancy, which stars Andrea Riseborough as a woman named Nancy who lives kind of a lonely life in the middle of nowhere, somewhere where it's really cold and snowy. They don't really tell you, but it was filmed in New York, so presumably maybe upstate New York. She lives with her mother, who has onset Parkinson's and is not very warm to her. She is a temp employee. She hates doing her job, and she has created elaborate fake profiles on the internet. You only really know one of them. She's also trying to be a creative writer, and part of that is in the writing of this blog. You see sort of the outcome of a couple of her lies and what happens when people discover that she hasn't told the truth. However, when a big thing happens and she sees a woman on, or she sees a couple on the news who have lost their child 30 years earlier, and they're talking about what it's been like for the last 30 years, and there's an age progression photo, and the photo looks just like her, she convinces herself that perhaps she really is their lost daughter. The trailer makes it look like a thriller, and that maybe she has malicious intent. But as you watch the film, it's not really a thriller, it's a drama, and it's about connection and the lack thereof, and what happens when someone grows up throughout their life without a feeling of being loved, and how the many ways in which modern society lets you try to find that love in other ways. Really astounding performance from Andrea Riseborough, plus some great supporting stuff from J. Smith Cameron as well as C. Buscemi. It's a lovely, sad, beautiful film, and it made me feel a lot of feelings. There were moments where I think almost anybody can kind of relate to some of the moments that Nancy goes through as she's trying to figure out where she belongs and who she is. I also particularly appreciated the fact that there was a cat in this film, and it was lovingly photographed and kind of showed the way in which sometimes cats are the only, or pets, but in this case cats, are the only place people can really feel unconditional love. And that's certainly the case for Nancy. So this is a lovely, complicated, thoughtful film, and I definitely suggest seeking it out. It is Christina Choe's first feature film. She's made several shorts. They all look amazing. I need to track them down. This is her first feature film, and it's stunning and very different from what you would expect from the trailer. You need to be in the mood to like really feel, though, if you want to see this movie. It's not an escape movie. The next one I watched was kind of an escape movie, and this is Brett Haley's Hearts Beat Loud. I have not seen his previous films. I'll See You in My Dreams and I think The Hero are the two that he did before this. But I was really excited to see this film when I found out that Kiersey Clemons' character is indeed a lesbian. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to go see this movie. At first, I kind of wanted to see it because I like music and I like music films, but I've been burned enough by like similar films that I was afraid. But then when I was like, okay, there's a queer element, I'm going to go see it. And Kiersey Clemons has amazing chemistry with Sasha Lane, so it's worth it just for that. But the rest of the film is fantastic as well. Kiersey Clemons plays Nick Offerman's daughter. This is the summer before she goes off to college. They're in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Funny enough, I just read a book that was set in Red Hook, Brooklyn, so it's hot right now. She wants to move off to UCLA. Nick Offerman's character owns a record store, but he's sort of tired of it and trying to figure out what to do with his life, especially now that he's going to have an empty nest. He and his daughter are both musicians, and he's been trying to start a band with her for years. He finally convinces her to lay down a track with him, and then he uploads it to Spotify, and it becomes a minor internet hit. At which point he's like, you should not go to college. She's studying to be a doctor. She's already taking a pre-med course. Instead, you should be in an indie band with me, a band that he's always tried to have a band. And in fact, he met his wife, her mother, when they were in a band together, 20 years earlier. You also have relationships with a local bar owner, played by Ted Danson, the landlord, played by Tony Collette, and his mother, played by Blythe Danner. And that's sort of what you follow as you follow Nick Offerman's character. And with Kiersey Clemons' character, you follow her as she falls in love with Sasha Lane, who plays an artist. And as she sort of has this one last big, wonderful moment in the relationship with her father before heading off to college, and the struggles of wanting to leave home but finding things at home that are still wonderful, and deciding if making that leap is worth it or not. It reminded me of what I think Begin Again wanted to be. I really hated that movie. That movie was needlessly sexist. This movie is neither sexist nor is it heteronormative. This is just a happy, lovely, queer-friendly portrait of a family that's a little dysfunctional, but in a loving way instead of dysfunctional in a like, wow, everyone needs therapy way. I don't know if it counts as a fantasy, because I don't know if anyone's family is ever this happy, but it's a perfectly toned summer film. Just, it's bright, it's airy, the music is good, the relationships are great. Everyone is even the like handful of fights that happen in the movie, they like get smoothed out, because in Heartbeats Loud's world, everyone's happy and everyone deserves to be happy and everyone is able to find a way to be happy. And if only that were reality, Nancy feels more realistic in its depiction of loneliness, in the way that everyone feels lonely, and some people feel more lonely than others. And Hearts Beat Loud feels like what we all wish we could live. So it was an interesting double feature to see one sort of bleak but realistic film, and one really upbeat and wonderful and a little fantastical film. So this is the summer. This is your options. There's a lot of blockbuster films out there that I still haven't seen, and I'll get to probably, maybe, I don't know. But these are some indie films or lower budget films that are out right now. They're at art theaters. You should check them out. They offer complex characters, and I just quite liked both of them a lot. So Heartbeats Loud and Nancy in theaters right now. Check them out. If you're in Atlanta, they're at the Midtown Art Theater. And I hope you enjoy them.